everyone. Thanks for having me on stage. I'm Assad. I'm the co-founder and chief visionary officer of Medieval Empires. Usually on stage with me should be Karl the Moon Runefeld, who is a crypto entrepreneur and influencer, but he is not feeling well, so he cannot be there. So I should say sorry for him. So we wanted to have a fireside chat, but now I'm doing more a keynote, but on the same topic. And as you saw, the main topic is on, there are challenges in the market on how we can bring blockchain gaming mainstream, and they are very big challenges, but I think we can overcome them. We are building a blockchain Web3 game. We call it a play and own game, where you can easily access the game by just click on Google register, you come into the game. We offer a non-custodial wallet in the back end. You join the game, you play the game, it's free to play, and then you experience it. And if you want to connect your own wallet, you can do it. If not, you already have a wallet in the back end, and we teach you why you're playing the game, what real ownership is. So that's what we are building. And I think, yeah, we have big issues and still some time to go until we will reach mass adoption, but the question is why. So I think the main things we all experience, I don't know how many gamers are here, maybe can you raise your hand if you played any games like in the last year or so? Okay, so we have some gamers here. If we talk about blockchain gaming, it's very hard to join a game, right? I mean, to be honest, no one knows what a wallet is. Like 95% of all people on the planet, they don't know how to use a wallet, what a wallet is, or how to configure it. It's much too hard. The games we see at the moment still, they're not fun to play. There are some games coming up for sure, but at the moment the games are not really fun to play. We see a lot of scams still in the crypto gaming industry. And we see, and that's a thing people don't understand from outside the gaming industry, even the games which are built at the moment, they have a very bad in-game economy. And that's one of the key things of a game, if a game can run for several years or not. This is the case. And then there's no transparency. And I think this is needed especially for Web3 games. Because especially the Web3 people, if you are in an infrastructure of Web3, there are a lot of scams. I mean, I have it so often if I'm on Telegram or Twitter or anywhere and I want to reach out to someone, you never know, is it a scam, is it real or not? Is it a good project or not a good project? So that's why transparency is for sure a key. But the good news is that there are solutions, and I'm convinced that blockchain gaming in certain areas will disrupt the gaming industry. And for me, myself, as a hardcore gamer I was when I was younger, I played Counter-Strike in the Pro Series, so like really a lot. I believe that if you add real ownership to a game, which is as good as the Web2 games at the moment on the market, people will change to these games. They will not yet, because the games are not good enough and it's not easy to join. But if we take care about, for example, these three points here on real ownership, what does it mean? It's pretty simple. At the moment you are in a game, you play a game for hours, right? Hours and hours every day, for months, for years, and no matter how much time you put in the game, it's never really yours. The games, they are not built from the beginning that you are a participant of the in-game economy to make money with what you worked on in the game, which was pretty normal and no one really questioned that. There were always some black markets, like always, like since 10 years, 15 years. You could sell something from the game on eBay, but then the company would sue you or tell you you should not do it because that's not how our game works. And blockchain games, actually, they are, it's a win-win situation because we want to let players who come into a blockchain game participate in the in-game economy because they can sell what they own in the game on the open marketplace for the price people want to pay. And at the same time, when they do it, we earn something on the royalties on the NFTs they sell. So it's a win-win situation. And for me, this is the most disrupting part, even if it sounds very small. I think that's the big thing why why blockchain gaming and real ownership will win at the end. But it's also very important that we talk about token utility, because I think it's a hype to say we are a blockchain game, we make a token and then we do something with it, but you don't know really what to do with it. So it's important to have a strong token utility in the game from the beginning. So what do I want to do with this token? Where does it help? Why should I as a player hold the token and not sell it? Why is it good for me? Because blockchain games, if they have a token, they are always dependent on the token market. Especially at the beginning, if you don't have a big revenue, it's always, if the token goes down, you will see some backlash in the community. Oh, why is your token going down? So it's actually a struggle having a token before you have a game which is some kind of big. And then if we talk about having NFTs and items you have in one game, you can also use in other games. I think this is also one key, what will be very interesting in the future. So we see already some solutions where you can use your in-game assets and you can put them into another game and play the heroes or use the NFTs in another game, which is good because you have an economy through different games. And then we see a lot of good news in the last weeks where, for example, Epic Store said they have now 20 games which should be launched soon on the Epic Store. That's huge news. I mean, Epic is one of the biggest stores and they say they will launch a lot of them. Or Microsoft said that they are testing now integrated wallet in the browser. I mean, it's not really like a good browser, to be honest. But if Microsoft also starts figuring out on how to use wallets in a very easy way, that will also help to get to mass adoption of games. Because if it's already in the wallet, if it's already in the browser, and I don't really need to do anything but just join and it's already connected, it makes it also easier. And then we see more and more of this news, which shows that also the big players, they understand something is happening in the market. Why don't we see like the big jump? I would say also coming from big companies working in digital transformation for 10 years, it's if a big company wants to change, first of all, they need to check their current revenue stream. If there is something new which is threatening their current revenue stream, they cannot just jump and do something new because they earn money from this revenue stream and they have their shareholders who say, we know what this usual gaming is, the usual games we understand, but Web3 gamings, we as shareholders, like we don't understand that, we don't want that. So they have pressure from above and they have pressure from inside of their own employees. And we saw that in couple of games, they integrated NFTs and they had like an issue with their own employees or with the current gamers they have. Because still a lot of gamers, they don't understand that blockchain gaming could be something great because the news are so bad about blockchain games. So that's why also the players say, we don't want to have NFTs or blockchains, you just want to have our money, put it back. And then there were some games which needed to go back in that. So change takes time. It's a big change, blockchain games compared to usual games, so to say. So it's okay if it takes time. It's okay if it's expensive. In 2022, we saw now almost 8 billion in investment in blockchain games and blockchain infrastructure, which is a high number. But also, it sounds high, but it's not really, because we are talking about disrupting a industry which is 200 billion US dollars worth, right? So it's a big industry which is even going bigger. So how do we reach mainstream adoption? So I would first of all say, if you are building a crypto game, the most important thing is your target group is are not the crypto people. Your target group are the Web2 people. The usual people who play games, the 3.5 billion people in the world who play some kind of games. This is your target group. Let them understand what your game is and let them come in very easy. And how can you let them come in easy? Very simple. We need just to follow what Web2 is already doing successful. We don't need to reinvent how to onboard users. Make it easy, register in the game with a login with Facebook or Google. And if you have done that, you provide, as I said in our game, a custodial wallet in the back end, and then you offer an on-ramp solution where people can just buy with their credit card your NFTs in the game. No one knows how to buy tokens, how to go on exchange, how to use MetaMask. No one knows. That's why make it very, very easy and then educate people when they're in the game. The other thing is make games fun to play. People should come into your game and have fun every day. It's very strange that we even have to say that this is a point, because that's the basic idea of gaming, right? I join a game, I have fun playing the game. But with play and earn, what happened in the last years, it was more of, I joined the game because I want to make some money, and then there was the hype. People and companies earned a lot of money, which was great for them, but not great for the crypto gaming industry. So make it fun. But if you want to make it fun, then you need to have proper people in your team, proper game economy designers, game designers who can make this game fun. And this is why we see so many crypto games failing at the moment, because they have teams from art, they have dev people, they have some IT people, and they try to build a game without understanding how game economy works. Another thing which is very important from day one, I mean, it's not only in Web3, but I think in Web3 especially, because you see a lot of people who think they can make very fast money or scam people or get into your code and steal money from you, because people don't care too much, right? Even a lot of people who are in crypto and have the wallets, they don't understand how to use the wallets. They connect somewhere, if there's an interface, they just connect their wallet without knowing, is it safe, is it real? And then there's a huge potential for scammers just to get your coins from your wallet. So I think security from day one, even in a startup, doing the audits and working with cybersecurity in your company, make sure, especially interfaces, whenever you have something from outside coming inside through a website or through your game, that is safe. So you save yourself, you save your users, and we still need to educate users on how to be safe here. The last thing from my side is that regulation is also a big thing, I would call it now. It was always, but since we see what's happening in the US right now with regulation and how they treat it, and we don't know what will happen in the future, especially then if you have a token, it's important to see what do you want to do with your token and what kind of licenses do you need and where can you register your token. Because what could happen is that you're building something great right now, and it's working nice, you're building your community, and then after a year, the regulators come and say, you are not regulated, we shut your project down right now. And that would be like devastating, right? Because then probably your project would be over, especially if it's a game. If you have a running game with a community and they have the NFTs and everything, and then you say, we are off the market right now, that would destroy your game. That's why it's very important from the beginning to think about regulation, have your lawyers in place, think about different scenarios on what you really need. Yeah, that's the thing how I imagine we can reach mainstream adoption. Everything I talked about, we are making sure at Medieval Empires that we can reach that goal. We will have a very early access version out at the end of this month, which will be only for landowners, so just a few people where we want to test if people like our game, on what we can change, because we are a very community-driven game. We give updates every week on our YouTube channel. We talk to our game producer, to our CTO. They all come from big gaming studios. Our CTO is the former tech lead of Candy Crush. Our producer is also from King.com. Our game designer is since 17 years in big mobile gaming studios. And we try to be very transparent, not only to show to our own community that we are building something great, but we also want to give all startups and people coming into the space to let them see on what could be a possible approach to do blockchain games. So yeah, I'm happy if you want to follow our Medieval Empires socials, and thank you very much for listening.